Welcome back to Your Average Investor, the channel that looks at my journey through investing, budgeting and finance. Now, we've done lots and lots of videos looking at my individual investment accounts, my Trading 212 account, my investment ISA through Vanguard and also my eToro portfolio. However, I've never done a full video which has rounded up my entire portfolios across all of my investments. This would give you the opportunity to see how much I've got invested across all of my different portfolios, to show you my total amount invested. As I've already said, I've got a Trading 212 account, a Vanguard ISA and also an eToro account, all of which you've already seen on my YouTube channel. I do also, however, have a small amount invested into peer-to-peer lending through Ratesetter. Whilst this is only a small amount, it would add to the overall portfolio and increase it by £100 or so. The idea for this video came about when I looked at how much I had invested in each of my individual portfolios, and I'd never sat down and actually calculated how much I've got totally invested in my overall portfolio. Before we get going though, I thought it would be worth just providing a bit of context to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm currently 29 years old and I've been investing continuously since May of 2019. So that means I've been investing for about a year and 9 to 10 months at this point. I currently work as a lecturer in sport, fitness and well-being. And obviously throughout that year and 9 to 10 months, my wages have increased, so my income has increased slightly. And I've also started to dip my toes into a number of other new and different ways to make money each and every month. One of these ways is matched betting, and I can make tax-free money from this every single month. If you haven't heard me talk about it before, check out one of the videos up above and I'll speak about it again later on in the video. I also make additional income in a number of other different ways, one of which through an affiliate scheme that I'm a member of, another through YouTube. However, I'm just reinvesting the money I make through YouTube at the moment back into the channel, as well as a little bit through drop shipping that I keep going every single month, and that's no more than £20 or £25. What this has enabled me to do though is increase the amount that I invest every single month, and this is particularly important when you start out investing. The money you invest at the beginning is worth so much more when you finally take that investment out than money that you invest later on in your investment journey. So it's really important that I invest as much as possible now so that that will mature into as much money as possible in the future. For those of you who've watched my videos before, you'll know I'm a big believer of pound cost averaging and also a dividend reinvestment strategy. This means that I continually buy into my investment ETFs as well as a number of other individual companies through my Trading 212 portfolio every single month or every month or so. What this enables me to do is average in at the best price, so I'm buying the dips and the highs so that throughout time I get the best price, and this is statistically shown to give you one of the best investing outcomes long term. Equally, I reinvest every single dividend that I receive, not necessarily in the company that's paid the dividend, but I decide where I want that money and where I think that money is best allocated. All of this combined has enabled me to build 4 different investment portfolios, which we'll examine now. So with that said, let's start to look at each of my investment portfolios. We'll start off with Vanguard, we'll then move to Trading 212, eToro will be third, and then my smaller amount in Ratesetter will be the final portfolio we look at. We'll then total all of that up and see how much I'm currently sitting on as invested cash. This will be interesting. Let's check it out. Here we are then back inside my Vanguard account. Now, it's not too long ago since we had a look at this account, but you'll notice some of the differences in the figures because I have made a new investment and also the market has dipped a little bit since my last video. You can see that the total value of my ISA is currently £6,007.36, which equates to a personal rate of return of 32.7%. Now, bear in mind, this rate of return is time weighted and therefore it's not an actual rate of return cash on cash. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. One of the reasons I really like Vanguard is because of the amount of figures that you can look at which break down the performance of your investment. If we tap View Performance in the bottom right of the screen, it will bring us through to a detailed breakdown of the total investments that I've made. So you'll be able to see since the inception of this account, I've invested £5,230. From this, my investments have returned to me £777.36. For those of you who've seen my previous Vanguard update videos, you'll know that you can have a look even further into the monthly details as well as the individual investment details using the buttons on screen. The one we're going to use today though is the Calculations tab. By clicking through into the Calculations tab, you can see a detailed breakdown of your portfolio overall. On the right hand side, it will show you how much my investments have returned to me. So you can see £705.82 has come from capital gains, 18p has come from gross interest, and £58.10 has come from dividends throughout the year and 10 months that I've had this portfolio open. As I said, this was the first portfolio I opened back in May 2019. So it's been the longest investment portfolio I've had open, and you can see that in the value of the portfolio. Something I'm really pleased with is the lack of fees that I've paid. Vanguard is obviously well renowned for its cheap fees, and you can see that I've only paid £5.11 in charges on a portfolio worth over £6,000 in 1 year and 10 months, which is excellent at this point. If we were to look at those fees as a percentage of my total value of my portfolio, the fees that I've paid so far on the £6,000 value of my investment is just 0.08%. This is arguably unbeatable in the world of investing. I did also mention that the rate of return you can see on screen of 32% is time weighted. So let's have a look at the cash on cash return I've seen in this portfolio in a little over 1 year and 9 months. The way we'll do this is by taking the amount my investments have returned to me and divide it by the amount that I've contributed and times that by 100. So we'll take the £777.36 and divide that by the £5,230 that I've invested. And we find out we've got a 14.9% rate of return cash on cash. Here we are inside my standard Trading 212 General Invest account. You'll see that the total value of my portfolio is currently £2,462.44, and it's showing that I've invested £2,099.53, with my investments returning to me £362.48, which equates to a rate of return of 17.28%. I started this portfolio around the time that I began the YouTube channel, back in May of 2020. Therefore, in just under a year, I'm very pleased with the rate of return that I've seen here. And if we have a look at my year progress, you can see that I've continued to invest in this account, which has seen the investments grow steadily along with the capital gains that I've seen and the additional dividend income. The dotted line on screen shows the amount that I've invested in the portfolio, and the blue line shows the value of the portfolio where it currently sits. The invested amount that you see on screen takes into account any investments that I've sold and then reinvested, and therefore this could include some capital gains that I've seen. We have to look a little bit further to find out exactly how much I've invested in this Trading 212 account. The way we do that is by tapping the 3 lines, going to the history section and then selecting the transaction history. Here you'll be able to see that my total deposits equates to £2,031.07. This therefore shows that around £60 of the invested amount into the portfolio has come from capital gains as well as dividends that I've received. Additionally, within this £2,031 deposits, it also includes the 20 free shares that I've received from Trading 212 for people who've signed up through my referral link. We can scroll down and have a look at some of these if we scroll a little further through my history, and you'll be able to see that I received smaller incomes through the free shares, with some £8 here, some £9 just flitted through. So in a future video I'll look at exactly how much Trading 212 has paid me in free shares, but for the purpose of this video we'll roll with £2,031.09 that I've deposited. Another area of interest within this account is the amount of dividends that I've received. Some of the companies that I invest in are due to their large dividend payment and the fact that they pay repeatable and dependable dividends over time. A number of these companies also increase their dividend at a steady rate, which is another reason why I've invested in them. After a year of investing in the Trading 212 platform, you can see that I've received a total of £8.99 in dividends. Additionally, this £8.99 in dividends has been put back to work to gain further capital gains and further dividends. So let's take a quick look at the total amount in this account at the moment then. My portfolio is currently valued at £2,464.94. However, I do have some free cash, 77p, within my portfolio. So the overall account value here is £2,465.37. So now we've moved across to my eToro portfolio. This portfolio is set aside purely for cryptocurrency, as you can see here, with 100% allocation or exposure towards different cryptocurrencies. Because this is an American-based app, it doesn't actually show how much I've invested in pounds and pence. So I've had to flick back through my transfers and I found out that I invested £237 into my eToro portfolio in total. If we have a look at the investments I've made, you'll be able to see that I'm invested in 3 of the main cryptocurrencies: Ethereum, Ripple and Bitcoin. I opened this portfolio on the 1st of January 2021, so the percentage increase I've seen has been excellent in such a short period of time. Bitcoin had already seen a large period of growth at that point. However, Ethereum has performed particularly well in the last week or so, with it being up over 70% in total. I've averaged into each of these positions in $25 increments, and you can see I've invested $100 in Ethereum, which is now worth $169.90, or around a 70% increase. In Ripple, I've invested around $50, which is up around 45%, so its current value is $72.57. In Bitcoin, I've invested $157, which is up around 13% at the moment, so it's currently got a value of $197.96. All of this equates to a total equity in my account of £322.88. The profit you can see in the middle in green will be slightly out because of the fees which eToro take when I invested in cryptocurrency, so we'll calculate exactly how much I'm up in a moment's time. The final, very small amount that I've got invested is in my Ratesetter portfolio, which is part of a peer-to-peer lending scheme. Now, I haven't been keeping up to date with investing in here, partly because they've reduced the going rate since coronavirus has hit, and they've reduced it by 50%, meaning that the maximum you can achieve is just 2% on your investments here, which in my eyes is nowhere near what I should be receiving. Therefore, I've kept the money in here, and as soon as it becomes unmatched, I'm removing it and moving it into either my Vanguard account or my Trading 212 portfolio. You can see that I've deposited a total of £140, however I have withdrawn £10 on the account, which gives me a total investment of £130. You can have a look at the very bottom, which shows the total with interest accrued, which means what my total will be expected to be at some point very soon, and that is £133.99. And that is £133.99, which isn't a massive investment, but it all adds up in the long run. So there we have a quick roundup of all of my 4 portfolios at the moment. We've got my Vanguard investment ISA, we've got my Trading 212 general shares account, we've got my eToro account, which is largely for cryptocurrency, and we've also got a little bit in peer-to-peer through Ratesetter. So totting up all the totals and finding out how much I've got collectively, I've discovered that since May 2019, I've invested £7,628.07 of my own cash. This equates to around £350 to £375 on average each month that I'm investing out of my pay packet. Now, at the very beginning of investing, I was investing very small amounts, £50, £60, maybe around £100 a month. So since then, I've really been able to increase the amount that I've invested up to £400, £500, sometimes £600. And that's how we've got to the average of around £350 to £375 per month. Obviously, those investments have received both capital gains and dividend income throughout those 22 months. And in those 22 months, I've received £71.24 in dividends from my investments. That equates to just under 1% return on my investment from dividends alone. When considering not all of the companies that I invest in give me dividends, and obviously cryptocurrency didn't give me dividends at all, I'm really happy to achieve around a 1% return on investments just from having that money invested. Another interesting thing that I found out is that I've only paid £5.11 in charges throughout the 22 months. Now obviously Trading 212 is completely free, Ratesetter is completely free, and there are some small eToro fees that I haven't really accounted for because it's just a few pence here and there. The £5.11 in fees comes merely from the Vanguard platform. This equates to an absolutely minuscule amount of my overall portfolio, and that's what I'm trying to do, keep my fees as low as possible so it impacts my overall investment and my investment growth as little as possible. What this all equates to then is a total invested amount of £8,929.26, and I've achieved this in just under 22 months. I've obviously been quite fortunate about the time that I invested. With coronavirus, I've had some nice growth throughout investing through that period, and obviously as things have started to get back to normal, at least with the stock market. However, it could quite easily have gone the other way, so I'm really pleased with my investment return. It equates to around £1,300 in gains over that 22-month period. What I thought it would be interesting to do would be have a look and calculate my actual real rate of return, cash on cash. So that's from the £7,628.07 up to the value that it's worth now, which is £8,929.26. And that equates to a real rate of return of 17.05%. This is obviously far below what Vanguard's platform shows. However, as I've said in a number of different videos, Vanguard show the time-weighted return rather than the actual cash-on-cash return. So 17.05% I am very, very happy with in the short period of time that I've been investing. There we go then. I really hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I have putting it together. It's been really interesting to have a look through all of my different investments and look back over time at how far I've come in the 22-ish months that I've been investing. If you do enjoy videos like this though, please drop a like and a comment on the video, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're closing in on 2,500 subscribers, something which I'm really looking forward to achieving. As always, if you haven't heard of match betting before, or you haven't used Trading 212, check out one of my referral links down below and start making tax-free cash really, really easily. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and with that said, I will catch you in the next one.